Chad here again. We're going to continue on with what we started with before. So we started with a bit of foam rolling. Foam rolling was just to inhibit muscles that were a little bit tight, get a little bit more lubrication within the fascia surrounding the muscle to allow you to get more joint movement happening at where you were working. So we're going to take it to the next step. Now, the next step is to include some sort of lengthening for the muscle. So this is a little bit more serious. So it can be done statically. Most of you have stood up and actually put one calf behind the body and try to put the heel down before elongate the calf muscle. I'm not a big fan of a static stretch simply because it doesn't use the brain to actually include the movement that we want to actually facilitate. So whenever we're actually going through some sort of stretching, I'm always thinking about, okay, what is the end result going to be? Well, the end result for me is to actually have a better movement at the joint. So what I find with static stretching is a lot of it is performed in the same alignment as the bad movement pattern. So we're going to try and undo some of that now. So we're going to skip straight into what's called neuromuscular stretching. Now, with neuromuscular stretching, there's one extra component that you're putting in. The first thing is you actually control a contraction through this. The other thing is you visually get to see the alignment of where the muscle is going and what's happening at the joint. So for this segment, what you'll need is just a towel or something like a rope. You can use a skipping rope, anything that you can get around the end of the foot and come back towards you with a little bit of pressure. Okay? So the deal with this kind of stretch is the first thing you want to find if we're stretching the calves right now is you want to find the end range of the calf muscle. So the end range is going to be me pulling to the point where I can feel that my calf muscle is lengthened and I can feel that little bit of tension kicking in. So within the muscle cells themselves, the sarcomere has what's called spindles. The spindles are detecting the change in length and they're trying to fight against it, so they tighten up a little bit. And what we're trying to do is, in this position, we're going to hold for about 10 seconds just off the start to try and desensitize what's happening with the nuclear fibers and the nuclear bags. Okay? So once you have that 10 seconds, the second part of this movement is a contraction. So you're going to pull and add about 20% power. So you're squeezing, 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 squeeze the muscle. Go in the opposite direction. About 10 seconds is optimal. And then what I want you to do is find a new end range. So you're going to allow that to relax. You're going to notice that my ankle comes back even further. Once I get to that new end position, I'm going to hold that for 30 seconds. Now again, keeping the alignment is extremely important. So watching your ankle movement and making sure it doesn't go off in a different direction. It should be straight in line with the knee. And once we have that 30 seconds and I'm in that new position, I'm going to apply that contraction to the calf again. So I'm trying to push my foot away from the body. So again, it's just applying. And then allowing it to come back again after that 10-second push. And as you'll see, I got a little bit more happening there again. That's my new end range. I'm going to hold that for about 30 seconds again. And then apply it for one more time. So when you're at home trying this, and you can do this just with a towel, again, what I want you to do is make sure you have some sort of validation at the end of it. So I've only stretched the one side, okay? Then you want to actually pull the feet up. And you can see that my range on the left side is improved dramatically just from that little bit that I've done. Okay? And that's what we're after. So that change in length is called tissue creep, and over a long period of time, going through the P&F stretching, which is your neuromuscular stretching, you can get a little bit of tissue creep, which is a little bit more length in the muscle itself, which is going to help me perform better with my squats, my jumps, landings, all that stuff, and in the end result in less injuries. Alright, so we're going to go through a neuromuscular stretching session this Thursday again. So anyone that's interested, all you have to do is just contact me by email and we'll make sure you get into the session. Until then, practice.